So Ace Handling,
Mm-hmm.
what year did you start?
Well, we are from Colorado, so we
Right.
started in Colorado in 2006.
Okay.
And we moved to Florida actually 3 years ago yesterday.
So that is right after COVID.
Yes. So
Or during.
COVID, we were kind of having some struggles in Colorado with roofing and the weather. We were starting to really get, I think, about 4 years of consistent long winters and no hailstorms in the summertime.
Okay.
So, and my husband grew up in Maui, and we had been vacationing down here for 10 years, and he had been trying to get me to make the move, and COVID hit, and we were tired of the winters, and I just said, you know what, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we did it.
And so I assume when it's freezing cold outside in Colorado, that's a down season for roofing,
it is,
right?
And the weather, the snow is starting to come in November, and it was lasting until about April. Ooh. And so an average snowstorm would probably be 4 to 6 inches. But when you have it consistently coming, and then it's interwoven with the 30-inch snowstorms, it gets really hard because it just doesn't melt.
Right.
So we had, before we moved, 4 years prior to moving, we decided to open a snowplow business in the winter to try to keep our guys busy in the winter months and to keep generating income. Okay. So we bought some ATVs and put some plows on trucks, and we started plowing malls and parking lots and HOAs to compensate for the down months of the slow months. And it just got to the point where we were just kind of like, we don't really want to mess with the snow anymore. Yeah. So let's just, and like I said, I'm married to an island boy. So he was like,
he was with it.
Yeah, 10 years. He's like, let's get out of the snow. But I'm a snowboarder. So I was like, no, I can't leave.
You can visit.
Yeah, I visit. My family still lives there.
So no no winter storms.
No winter storms. It's interesting being here for 3 years to figure out the seasons. And the seasons are definitely, we are slower usually in July and August because of the heat. And we are slower in January just because I think it's post-Christmas. But that seems to be, and February and March are pretty busy here because snowbirds are looking to button up their homes before they go back.
And they are, hopefully, we love you, snowbirds, but hopefully they're going back. Traffic will be a little bit better.
Well, and then you got spring break for another month. But it is kind of fun to figure out the trends down here, too.
It used to be Easter. Easter is when the snowbirds, they would celebrate Easter here, and then they would
go home after that.
It used to be pretty dependably, like the week after Easter, traffic would be a whole lot better. I don't know if that will be the case because we have so many people migrating to the area of all ages. Right. But I'm anxious to find out.
Well, and spring break, I've noticed, that traffic seems to last till the end of April, kind of, because everyone's on different spring breaks in the country.
And with Easter being it's so early, it's like March 31st. Yeah. I don't ever remember it being in March.
I know.
But
it's very early.
Yeah. But I'm anxious to see if we'll get some reprieves on our on our traffic.
The traffic.
Moving your business from across the country, so to speak, right? Across the country, all the way down here. I know that you said your husband had been traveling down here, so he knew how to get around. I'm sure he was familiar with the area, but the audience, they're not familiar with your brand. So talk to me about what that was like to move your business to a brand new location.
It has been amazingly challenging and probably some of the most, it's been the most growth that I've personally experienced in my whole entire life. Because there's nothing like reinventing yourself in your 40s, So prior to that, we walked away from a brand and a reputation in the industry in Colorado of over, 20 years. And so when we moved down here, it was just kind of like, how are we going to do this? So really, that's been the biggest challenge. And when we moved down here too, Florida has all kinds of licensing requirements that Colorado doesn't have. You just get a county or city license, you pull a permit in Colorado. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
So when we started the business, we only opened with sealing pavers and pressure washing because we weren't allowed to step on any roofs until we had the license.
Wow.
So it was really, and we didn't have any people here. It was just he and I. So we just honestly kept moving I think the biggest secret is you just can't stop. You
Yeah.
can't stop looking for ideas to make things run or to get your voice out there. And one
No.
thing that really helped us was joining local chamber events and
Okay.
networking events and door hangers and just,
I love it.
I mean, it was pretty elementary way of starting at first.
Yeah.
I also decided that I would write letters to local HOAs and property management companies and
Okay.
introduce myself to realtors and I would cold call general contractors.
I love this.
And so that's really, I would just start going in person. Like, and if people wouldn't return my phone calls, I would just go in and bring them a box of donuts or a gift card or a thing of coffee and just meet somebody face to face. It matters a lot more. And I would just kind of have already a letter of our services that we offer typed up, and I would just hand them the letter and not really focus on business, but focus on the personal interaction and introduction. People do business with people. Right. And it's been 3 years of just doing that. We also, before we had our roofing license, we were a strategic partner for Habitat for Humanity. And we just decided that while we were building our business, it was important for us to give back to the community. So we started putting roofs for free on for Habitat for Humanity under their roofing license while we didn't have ours. Right. Because we had the experience, but we were able to do the work for them. Right. And that generated a lot of community awareness and new business contacts and really made us aware of different leaders in the industry that we really needed to make ourselves familiar with. Create these connections. Right. Yeah, for sure. So I love it. It's been great. Yeah. And I think, I've always said, like, the more you give, right, especially into the community, the more you pour into the community, it, some people call it karma or whatever. I just think that the more you give into the community and support the community that's supporting you, the better it will support you. Well, and I really believe in biblical principles and, treat others the way you want to be treated and really using the talents that God has blessed us with to be able to bless others. Yeah. Because, unfortunately, we're not all on the same playing field and it's nobody's fault. But for those who are blessed, we need to be using our gifts and talents to help people who are unfortunate at this time and really lift them up. And so it's just an important aspect that I actually want to incorporate into our business model as we grow. You know how Tom's is like, buy a pair of shoes, give a pair of shoes. Sure, yeah. I don't think I could ever get to the point where somebody buys a roof and I give a roof. No, I don't know. But I do want to have a nonprofit section of my company eventually where I can kind of give away, 1 to 3 roofs a month eventually. Yeah. So that is a area that we want to grow into ourselves. It can be done. Yeah. You can be strategic about it. We do it here at Agento. We work with a lot of nonprofits. Don't typically charge them anything at all, or maybe supply costs and things like that. So very minimal. But we have to be strategic because we can't just give it away to every nonprofit. There's so many wonderful nonprofits. Right. Just like what you're mentioning, there's so many people that have a need. We're in business to make money, right? So you can't give it all away for free. But sure. If you're strategic about it and selective, you can help a lot of people. You can. I think one of the best things about owning your own business is being able to use it to your business to leave a footprint in the community for growth and for development. So I'm happy about that opportunity here. I believe, and I read this, so it's not my quote, but I believe that nothing impacts a community greater than the success of a small business. Yeah. Nothing. Because a small business having success brings with it employees and team members who are also successful and they're fulfilled. Exactly. And then they go out into the community and have this tremendous impact. And so when done right, I think that small business success can go even further than wonderful nonprofits that do wonderful work, but small business success, it's a big deal. And and you as a leader of your company, you lead by example too. So how you are choosing to run your business and me in my spot, people look up to that and they follow by example.
Exactly. 100%. You said biblical principles. Got a favorite verse?
I have a lot. My favorite is probably 2 Corinthians 4:16-18. And it says, we do not lose heart, although outwardly we are wasting away. Inwardly we are being renewed day by day.
Day by day.
Our light afflictions are temporary, and they're working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. And we focus our eyes on not what we see, but what is unseen, because what we see is temporary and what we don't see is eternal.
That's a great one.
Yeah, give it to me.
That's a great one. Come on. And you quoted it, and you do it.
It can kind of apply to everybody and every difficult situation that you face in life, you know?
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes on the things that matter. Your spiritual walk.
Mine is probably Galatians 6:9.
Give it to me.
Do not become, you got the camera on? Do not become weary in well-doing, for at a proper time you will reap a harvest if you faint not.
I love that.
Yeah, don't get tired of doing the right thing.
I love
Just
that.
keep
Galatians
doing the right thing.
6:9.
Galatians
Okay.
6:9. Yeah.
I'm adding that to one of my faves. That's a good one.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, one for you too.
So 4 years into Florida business.
3 years, yeah,
3
as
years.
of yesterday. Yes,
That's right. 3 years into
3
Florida
years.
business. Talk to me about, after that first year, because you had so many, things, especially that first year. But in year 2, talk to me about some everyday struggles that you ran into as an entrepreneur that you had to solve.
I would say everyday struggles for, when we started and when we got our license, we're a smaller company.
Yeah.
So advertising and marketing is obviously, it's very beneficial to work with a company like you,
Sure.
To get the word of mouth out. But we were literally building from ground zero.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of, and lots of people have opinions when you're building.
Yeah.
So a big challenge is, who do I listen to? And what confidence do I have in my own discernment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because lots of people are like, oh, well, you should do this or you should do that. So it really becomes a skill to gather all the information from people who have done it before you, but decide what you're going to take in and what you're not going to take in.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, even as far as, who do I trust, who do I not?
Right.
But even good advice might be good for them.
But not good for you.
Yeah. That's
and your industry. Point. So you really have to think that even though everybody that you're seeking information from might be an expert, they're an expert in what they know.
That's right.
And not what you know, what your business is. So kind of trying to learn how to read between the lines, was a little bit of a challenge. And another challenge here is when it comes to roofing, specifically, we do commercial and residential. But it's a very transient community here. It's a very different community than Denver.
Okay.
Because you have snowbirds. You have you have a lot of the homes that are occupied here. They are not year-round occupied. They are used as vacation rentals. So trying to really hone in on the market of homeowners was probably one of our biggest challenges.
It's
like
super different.
Yeah, how do we do that? Because door knocking and doing door hangers and things like that, it's a little bit more different or more challenging when you knock on a door and it's somebody that is here staying in a homeowner's home for a VRBO for a week, or nobody's home and you leave material that you paid for on their door. And by the time they get back,
it's 4 months later.
It's 4 months later, and it's going to have blown off or withered in the weather. So just trying to figure out how do you really circumvent some of those home ownership challenges and reach out and make yourself known in an area where it's just not a community similar to Denver.
Right, to Denver, very different.
Very
for
different.
Sure.
Very different.
Earlier, you mentioned that one thing that was big for you was joining chambers, going to chamber events and business community events and things like that. So what's your go-to networking tip that you always lean on?
When I go to events, I just try to be me and I don't talk business because people just want to know who you are. They don't want you to walk up. Like when I met you, Travis, our friend Travis introduced us.
Yeah.
You know, we talked, in fact, to this day, every time we get together, we kind of just talk more about our personal lives.
Yeah.
And we really don't even touch on business very much.
I know what you do. You know what I do.
Yeah. And so really it's just relationship building. I think it's really difficult when you go into a networking event and people can see through it when you're just going up and and you're just going, hey, I'm Sarah. I'm a roofer, and and then you just go and do a spiel about yourself. Nobody wants to hear.
Nobody wants to hear it, and the people. You're right. People see right through it.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it. They want to build authentic relationships. I'm
the same way. You know, I want to connect with people. You know, with them directly. I could care less what they do.
Right.
I'll find out what they do at some point.
Right.
And the decision on whether I work with them or not will be based on the relationship, not on what they do.
Right.
There's lots of people that do what they do. My strategy beside that, when I go to networking events, is kind of like what Travis does. I like to just connect people, you know, so I'll see, you know, you at an event, Sarah, and I'll see somebody else I know and realize that you don't know each other and think, wow, these are two great people that I know that don't know each other. Sarah, come here. Let me introduce you to my friend Josh. Like,
and I appreciate that so much because I have a lot of people that I've gone to events and they'll do that for me.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I'm getting to the point where I know a lot of people, but I don't, not like you and Travis. Travis seems to know everybody in town.
Well, Travis Sparks.
You do too.
Shouts out Travis Sparks.
Yeah,
he does know everybody in town.
And you do too. But I appreciate that about individuals like you that have been around for a little bit at these events and really are focusing on connecting people. It's actually been a lifesaver into my business. It's brought me a lot of, it brought me my bookkeeper. It brought me, all
these synergistic connections.
It brought me, it's just brought me a lot of opportunity of growth in my business. So I really appreciate individuals like that.
I love doing it. The chat when I took that from somebody else. A good business owner will steal ideas from anyone. I took that from somebody else. I don't remember who. But the trick that I found was remembering the names. Yes. I was really bad at remembering names. And so I can't introduce people. You know, I'm like, come here and meet this guy. Right. I can't do that. So I had to like really train myself to remember people's names. Right. So there's little, like when I meet somebody, Sarah, nice to meet you. Sarah, have a great day. I'll repeat it a few times so that I make sure that it's
committed to your memory.
Yeah, exactly. And those things have worked.
That's a good tip.
That way I'm able to connect them at the future events. And, again, I'm not trying to, like you, I'm not trying to sell anything at an event. Moreover, I want your network. I want you to take me with you, when you go. And the only way you're going to do that is if you know who I am.
Exactly.
So, like you said, relationships.
Building. Yeah. That's so important.
Couple last things. So you own a business that you run with your husband.
Yes.
That's not common.
No.
So any tips for couples that are out there about running a business together?
Yes. Well, in Colorado, and you know this, but we were not in business. Like he owned a business. Right. But I was always in government work. So it's a new thing for us to be running a business together. Sure. And it's only been for 3 years, and we are very different. I'm very type A and very,
you?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I am very type A. I'm super organized. I'm a planner, and he is a fly by the seat of his pants type of guy. Yeah. And that makes for a really wonderful marriage because he is pulls me out of when I'm in my head, and I put him where he should be in his head. But in business, it has been challenging because we approach things totally different. But we have been married for 17 years, and I handle all operational stuff and advertising and marketing and networking and place orders and pay people, and I do all that, and then he handles all the jobs. Yeah. So we're not really in each other's space a whole lot. Yeah. But I will tell you that we have had to learn to listen to one another and It's been an adjustment. He knows that the things that are my strengths, and he has had to learn to appreciate them and realize that we are for each other and not against each other. Right. And I have had to understand, like, this guy's been roofing since he was 10. He knows his stuff.
He knows,
and so why would I ever try to pretend to be an expert. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Realizing somebody's strengths and your weaknesses and allowing them
and
to
appreciating
lead.
them.
Yeah. And allowing them to lead in an area where you should not be leading. You know, I think we've grown into that mutual understanding with one another over 3 years. Yeah.
That's cool. So then you let each other kind of play to your strengths. So you're good at this, you take that.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to be right.
Right.
If you're, and it's the same way as with marriage, you know.
That's right.
If you're trying to be right, you know, someone always ends up being a loser.
That's right. Yeah, no, you work together.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're both for the company and its growth.
That's
so let's just not position ourselves against each other.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. So 3 years here, number of years in Colorado. I assume you're going to stay here for...
We're staying here.
No more winter.
The kids are 15 and 13. It was a big move basically from the West Coast to South Florida, Southwest, well, whatever. Are we considered Southwest Florida?
So, yeah.
Okay, Southwest Florida. So, and they are 15 and 13. We love it here. Anytime I miss the mountains, I go to the beach. So I usually end up pretty tan because I miss the mountains a lot.
You're gonna catch me.
Yeah, but not enough to go back. So we are here. We're here.
What's the next 5-10 years look like for Ace Handling?
I've realized how much my company means to me. It's not just something that is a way for me to make money, but the fact that we're able to use it to bring jobs to the community when people are really financially struggling. I would love to be able to partner with Polytech and get to the point where we're training kids to have skills that maybe don't want to go to college and try to employ some of them and do a lot of mentoring and grow more in the commercial space, where right now we're kind of more of a light commercial. Yeah. But I really want to get our name more out there with general contractors and big construction companies and try to take on some bigger projects and just keep bringing opportunity for employment into the community. We put on a very, very good roof. Yeah. We make sure that our guys that they are also state licensed and insured, and
that's a big thing.
And not we pay a lot of extra money to make sure that the roofs that we put on are beautiful. So we are educating ourselves on new products that are coming out, innovative products, and we are just getting our certifications in anything so we can put any product we can on a roof.
You're constantly learning.
Yeah, constantly learning and growing and adding. We would just want to be aware of all the innovations in the market.
Yeah,
so,
stay on top.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, I appreciate you sharing your journey with our audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Great to hear.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay, thanks.
Good stuff?
Great stuff.
Keep them rolling.
We're moving.
Keep them rolling.
We're rolling.
Sarah,
yes.
As an entrepreneur, time is your most valuable asset.
Yes.
So we appreciate your time. We just have a little gift for you to say thank you.
Well, I'm just happy to be here.
We do.
This is so cool.
A little something for you.
Wow, look at you. Of course you put together something awesome. Marketing. Oh my gosh, shut up. This is awesome. That's why you asked me my favorite favorite candy and alcohol. Oh my gosh.
That's right. And
this is the
Joey Brannon.
Yes, this is the book that I think that this was on my radar to read this, actually.
Yeah. You know Joey, right?
Yeah, I do.
Shouts out to Joey Brannon.
Yes.
It's a great book. I read it a couple years ago.
Yeah, with Axiom, right?
For me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And the whiskey, as you know, I don't consume, but it says it is, cut from...
Tin cup.
Cut with
mountain
water
whiskey?
from the Rocky Mountains.
Is that right? Seriously?
I thought that was perfect for you.
This is actually my husband's favorite whiskey.
Oh, good. Okay.
He loves Tin Cup and Law's whiskey. It's a Colorado brand, but he's going to be really happy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate
my pleasure.
it.
Thanks for coming on the show.
I was just happy to be here. So thank you. And I got a cup.
Yes, ma'am.
And I got mini ones for the car ride home.
For the car. That's mini eggs. I saw a couple of those. I thought, that's perfect.
Yeah, mini eggs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
That's really nice of you.